Hello everyone, and welcome back to Baseballology, where we look at the current Hall of Famers and discuss their worthiness of induction. As always, I don't advocate for anyone's removal from the Hall of Fame, but I do like talking about the histories of these players as well as how to rank them. Here's a question to start off today's video. What team has the most Hall of Famers? Did you say the Yankees? Wrong. Red Sox? Wrong. Cardinals? Wrong again, and that would be strike three. No, the team with the most Hall of Famers, at least as of today's video, is the Giants. A lot of the Giant Hall of Famers are either legit, like Willie Mays or Mel Ott, or at least somewhat arguable, like Orlando Cepeda. But plenty of their picks aren't as justifiable due to the Frisch and Terry coalition leading the Veterans Committee in the late 60s and early 70s. But even before then, a couple of the Giants Hall of Famers weren't really worthy additions to the ranks of the Immortals. Just like George Kelly was picked because of who his teammates were, so was Roger Bresnahan picked due to his teammate being Christy Mathewson. Now, before you get up in arms with me, let me state that Mathewson obviously didn't campaign for Bresnahan's induction, as Mathewson had died in 1925 due to complications of a mustard gas exposure during the First World War. That was 11 years before Mathewson was inducted into the Hall of Fame in the very first class. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's some evidence that being Mathewson's catcher had no bearing whatsoever on Bresnahan's election. What does his plaque say? Wow. Right in the first line. They weren't even trying to hide the fact that this was a mistake. And I like how none of his stats are mentioned at all, just arbitrary tidbits like how he was fast. So what did he do to earn induction anyway? The Duke of Trolley had an impressive bat for a catcher, slashing .279, .386, .377 for a WRC plus of 128. Bresnahan collected a whopping 26 home runs, along with 218 doubles and 71 triples in his career. Decent totals for the period, as it was the dead ball era, but not great overall numbers. Bresnahan did collect a decent number of RBIs for a catcher and a leadoff hitter, with 530 of them in only 1,400 games. While all of his career totals are decent, they sure aren't legendary. When Bresnahan first came up to the bigs in 1897, that was the final year for another Hall of Fame catcher in Buck Ewing. Ewing played in about 100 fewer games in his career and put up far superior numbers, including being worth more wins. Oh, and Ewing could actually play good defense. Bresnahan, despite his reputation and having developed the first protective gear for catchers, does not grade out too well for defense, being only worth 7.4 runs above average defensively in his career. Bresnahan's problems once again come down to playing time. After playing in parts of 17 seasons, he only amassed about 1,400 games played, and topped 100 in only 8 of his seasons. I've said it before in this series, and I know I'll keep saying it, if a player isn't on the field, he doesn't produce value. So, most players can point out to an injury or two as the reason for not playing as much. Can Bresnahan? Not really. Bresnahan was famous for garnering ejections and suspensions for arguing with umpires or harassing batters. In fact, when an edict came down from the National League president in 1911 to prevent antagonizing batters, only one player was mentioned by name. Can you guess who it is? No, not Ty Cobb. That's right, it's Roger Bresnahan. While his fire probably made him a popular player with fans and teammates, it prevented him from putting up a lot of the numbers he should have by keeping him out of games. We know that Mathewson couldn't really campaign for Bresnahan's induction, so the question naturally becomes, how did it happen? Bresnahan languished on the ballot until the 1942 election, getting no more than 67 votes in any year. However, his vote totals spiked in 1945, when the voting occurred roughly 1 month after his death in December of 1944. Taking note of this, the Veterans Committee at the time decided to follow suit and induct Bresnahan when they met after the BBWAA elections. Bresnahan was certainly a good player, he just didn't play enough to be considered a good candidate for induction. Hey, thanks for checking out today's video on Roger Bresnahan. If you liked what you heard, hit the like button down below, and consider subscribing to see when the next video comes out. Let me know what you think about Bresnahan's induction. Was I too hard on him? Was there anything I forgot to mention? Please let me know in the comments down below. You can also let me know who you think is going to be on the next video, and I'll even give you a hint too. This player actually had a law degree, and used it to try to form the first players union. I'll see you next time.